All right, how's everybody doing today on this lovely Friday morning? I got a big thing planned for today. We're going to be going over the Windows 10 scripts. I've kind of done this script 2 or 3 times in the past. It was the first iteration this past time, speeding up Windows 10. Mainly did that just because I wanted to combine a lot of the Debloat and a lot of the things I do as a system admin. So that's why I made that script. But the script, I think we can improve depending on your circumstances. You might need another version of that. So that's why I am doing this stream, and we're gonna, get live feedback and actually make multiple scripts. Right now, it's just kind of a middle of the road, installs most things that people will want and does most settings, but we're gonna do it a little bit better than that this time. We're gonna make at least 2 scripts. One's gonna be a minimal script that pretty much everyone can run. It's just settings that is just good for everyone, such as making sure updates don't take over, making sure you debloat, unless you're a lover of Candy Crush, and, well, I'm sorry, these probably are not gonna be for you. But needless to say, it will minimize everything, and that minimal script, pretty much you can run on any machine, and those settings are gonna be pretty universal. But we will be leaving a lot on during that minimal script, such as like Defender and some, I think, UAC and some other ones. We'll do like a poll and see what people want on that regard. But then we're gonna do a heavy-handed script after that. The heavy-handed script, we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna remove as much stuff as we possibly can. This isn't gonna be for everyone, as the heavy-handed script will be much like LTSC is on Windows 10. And if you're not familiar with LTSC, it's basically stripping out everything. There is no Windows Store. There's less services. It's a really good version of Windows and a very much more minimal version of Windows. But some things don't work. Some games don't work. Some things just aren't capable of that, or they're very difficult to install. So be very careful, cautious using a heavy-handed script like that. But we'll put disclaimers and comment during the script process. So, and we'll also do some Q&A here towards the end. So I'm gonna get on the desktop here. I gotta just been redoing my system once again. I reformat my system probably, I don't know, my studio PC. It's eventually just gonna be like I'm done with you and just die, because I've put so many operating systems on it. So we're gonna jump on the desktop and get started here all. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Now I will be doing this on, let's see, we'll probably do it in VS Code for the most part, but you could do it if you're doing it on Windows. You could easily, when editing the scripts, there's PowerShell IDE, which I'd recommend. It's pretty good for highlighting code, and we'll jump in. Now on the scripts, I do want to do a before and after cap shot or snapshot. So what we'll do is at the start of this script, I'll show you where we're at in services. Usually on a vanilla, blank, all default option of Windows 10, you're usually about 110, 120 services. On the minimal script, it's not gonna affect this number very much, but on the heavy-handed script, you're gonna see it probably get cut, I would imagine, down to about 70 or 80. So we'll see. So let's go hit the desktop. And I've been messing around with my desktop. On the next stream, I want to go over making your own Linux distro, I guess, or basically this is just my own rolled distro where there's not much going on here, but that's going to be the next stream. But I'm basically building it out with no desktop environments or anything, and just kind of putting all the pieces together to make basically your own operating system. But everyone can do this. And I'll do that on the next stream, because this is a lot of fun. I love this. And if you're curious about the quote in background, this is using Variety. It's an open source project on Linux where you can do quotes, you can do everything. So it's pretty cool. And we will be using Windows 2004 because of a lot of the things I get, and even the super chat from there, Chrissy, the foobar of Windows 2004. I like 2004, I guess that just doesn't make a good YouTube video though. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna just clone my GitHub project, and we'll start working on that script. We're gonna start with the base script here, which I think, yeah, I already have it in here. We're gonna just do a poll, just making sure I don't have any things, and we're gonna start editing the script. So here is this PowerShell script that we already have, and I might blow this up a little bit. And you know what? I might actually just pull this into a little bit clearer editor so everyone can see. So those phone users are gonna be like, what the heck is he doing on the screen? I can't see nothing. All right, let's do that. We'll just do a text edit. We're gonna go old school for this one. So let's copy our script. We're gonna start with the minimal first. I figure folks will probably want that the most because you can run that on everything. So we're gonna just take this and we're gonna make a minimal PS1, and we're gonna take that. That should be a little easier to read. We'll see. If not, we can do that. So this is the script that pretty much everybody knows from the Speed Up Windows 10 video. This installs a lot of different things. I'll go over this script just so you understand what's going on with it first. So this one requires admin privileges to run, and as far as the external program setup, this is where some folks didn't like it. It would install a lot of the programs I like Chocolatey. There's Adobe, 7-Zip, Notepad++, and Media Player Classic, which, you know, just depends on what you got going on. It then does a debloat of all Windows apps. It disables telemetry, Wi-Fi Sense, smart screen, web search. Most of this stuff, most people don't want, but there's some people, I did get a couple, which if you look right here, where it says location tracking and map updates, it does disable location tracking and map updates. So if you do use like mapping software or something on your computer, I know some folks on like using laptops do actually utilize this. So that's just one thing, but let's go ahead for the minimal script. We're gonna need to take out some stuff because there's some preferences in here that people don't like, such as Note Player Classic. We're gonna get rid of Adobe too, and we'll go through this just to see if there's anything else. Map updates and location feedback. I'm gonna say most people don't want to be tracked, but I think we're gonna leave this as a disable in here. But if you wanted to, just simply, we're gonna find something. You're gonna see how to enable these. If there's something in here, just fork the script and you'll be able to do this yourself as well. Hell yeah, this is Vim, by the way. An editor. I'm still such a noob in Vim, so veteran Vim users will be like, God, he's so slow. But those people that have never used Vim before are probably going to be like, wow, how do you delete a whole line with just a key press? So we're going to get a couple people to Spectrum here. All right, so security tweaks. This is where we do need to make some changes. Because on the minimal script, my default security tweaks for more of a gaming setup is not exactly secure, so we're gonna change this. Now, UAC itself, we're gonna leave that on low. Most people hate getting the UAC prompts. I would recommend probably setting this to high if you're deploying this out to a bunch of workstations or you know, a whole bunch of computers you have to manage. But for most people in the audience, I think you like UAC on low. As far as SMB, we're gonna leave that. Disable firewall, we definitely don't want that. We're gonna leave that, so we're gonna just go ahead, just get rid of this section, and we're gonna just exit that. We're just gonna enable that firewall. Disable Defender Cloud. This is another one we need to probably leave enabled, so let's just take care of that real fast. Enable F8 menu, that's a good one. Disable Meltdown flag. You know, so here's my opinion. When it comes to Meltdown and Spectre, you see this all the time on YouTube videos. You know, hey, this virus is out. This is gonna really, you know, make you insecure. All these different things. How these are exploited, it's kind of like almost like a proof of concept. So in business, you want to, you know, everything's CYA. You know. Cover your own, and for this, I'm gonna just say, for a personal computer, I would disable Meltdown. if you're an Intel user, definitely, because it costs you so much performance. And I'm talking like 10 or 20 performance in some generations of processors. So like i7, i9s that are probably 2 or 3 generations old, man, you lose like up to almost 30% performance from some of that. So disabling the meltdown compat flag is actually pretty beneficial for you. I can't say that. Oh, and you know, I do go off on random tangents here, guys. I will say the last stream, I had to take it down completely because apparently I went on some kind of tangent that was not advertiser friendly. So going from Twitch to YouTube, the reason why a lot of people don't do YouTube streaming is because you have to be very conscious, because as you're live, anytime you say a bad word, it immediately flags your stream. And I mean, it's amazing they have this technology, but I didn't even realize it. And I said, yeah, I'm not even gonna play what I said, but I told a story about someone making my last name say a bad word. And I repeated it a bunch of times. And anyways, that stream got flagged. I had to take the whole thing down because of it getting basically flagged. So that's why I try to censor myself. I kind of have a sailor mouth in real life. So it's really difficult for me. Sometimes you'll get this really odd, awkward pauses where I'm like, oh, just say it. Nope, don't do it. But that's what's going on. So, we'll see. I'll do better. I'll do better. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Yep, that was it. That was from last stream, Alex. Oh. All right, so we're gonna leave that. We are gonna leave firewall on. We need to enable Defender. That's probably gonna be a setting for minimal. Most people are gonna want Defender. And everything else here looks pretty solid. Security-wise, this will be a little more secure, but it will be having a little more processes running. And a lot of people have commented. I get a lot of people that run this script. I think some of the Debloat scripts are approaching 1 million views, so I do get quite a bit of hate on this, but just know if there is something in here that you use and I disable, again, this is how I'm modifying the script. It's pretty simplistic. Now we are going to go deeper dives than just what we're doing. These commands are just calling subroutines. We will go and actually edit some of these subroutines because this script, while it's good, every script can always be better. So we're gonna change some stuff that I kind of nagged in me as well. All right, service tweaks. Pretty much we got a lot of disables here. I'm leaving remote desktop on. If you don't have any intention of remote desktop, for security reasons, disable remote desktop, otherwise called as RDP. If I say RDP, just know I'm referring to remote desktop. RDP has a ton of exploits, and why that's so dangerous on Windows machines is RDP means somebody can remotely control your computer. And a lot of these are very egregious. When I look at exploits, usually I look at the severity of the exploit, and a lot of times if it can automatically run without any user intervention, this type of exploit is the one to worry the most about. This is also probably the most predominant on Windows. That's why you really don't hear about viruses on Linux or Mac. They exist, a lot of the exploits exist, but they're just not as bad. And with Windows, there's just not a lot of protection once you get these type of exploits. So very, very problematic sometimes. And as far as the software, have you ever used a software called FreeRDP? Yes, FreeRDP is all over Linux. I use it all the time. FreeRDP is amazing. If you're unfamiliar, it's basically using the remote desktop protocol, which is TCP 3389. And anyways, that project is completely open source and free, and you can use Ramina. So if I'm remoting into a Windows box, which we're going to pull up Windows and run this after we're finished, that is going to be... you're gonna have to bear with me. In the morning, I'm terrible, by the way. I've had my coffee, but I'm still waking up. But it allows me to remote into pretty much any Windows box, and I use FreeRDP for that. And I also use FreeRDP to stream applications. So sometimes I'm on Linux and I want to use a Windows application. Let's say I set up a server, I can actually stream a Windows app directly to that box without actually doing a full remote desktop. So much like Citrix Zen app or Zen Desktop, if you're familiar with those in the business world. Maybe stop putting so much scotch in your coffee. You can't invite Sparky anywhere. Also, I will be cutting the stream up afterwards and putting it on the Titus Tech Talk channel. So a lot of times I don't put the entire streams just because most people don't want to sit through a whole stream. So I try and condense everything in here and say, okay, this is 10 minutes of this much. So if you do have to leave, and just check that channel, as I will post the edited clips with all the entertaining or educational parts of this. All right, so disable sleep timeout, sleep button, that's good. I think we could go with some other stuff here. Action Center, I usually disable on Windows. I've talked really bad about Action Center in the past, but I really hate it. The Notification Center, I think, is just terrible in Windows 10, and a lot of times it's redundant for what's already there in the actual application itself. All right. All right, we're almost finished with this. I'm just seeing if there's anything else in here people might want from a minimal setup. I want this to be basically something everyone can run. Does anybody use Task View? Very few. Disable file delete confirm. Most people don't even know about shift delete. If you ever want to permanently delete a file on your Windows box and skip the recycle bin, hold shift and press delete. It'll actually permanently delete that file. So that's a fun little shortcut. Just be careful with that. If you get in sometimes I get in the habit of always using it, and then I'm like, oh crap, I need to pull it back, and I'm like, can't do that. Or can't do it easily, I should say. All right, enable num lock. I do have dark mode down here, so I'll probably leave dark mode on. I usually like dark mode quite a bit. All right. What is a good free macro program? I like AutoHotkey. AutoHotkey is fantastic for a lot of scripting and automation. I use it a lot. How long is the stream going on? Till we finish. Is basically what I'm gonna go there. And then afterwards I archive it, and then again I cut it up to where it's more bite size for the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, and we'll also do like a Q&A too. We'll split up the Q&As between scripts so we can have that. So if you have any questions, just save it for that. Explorer UI tweaks, not much going on here. Let's see. Probably want to hide hidden files. Most people don't want that. Let's just get rid of that. Hide recent shortcuts. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Or actually use hide recent shortcuts. Let's see, anything else? And yeah, this is an interesting option right here, guys. This set Explorer to this PC. A lot of times you don't realize it, but you actually go to quick access by default on Windows Explorer. And if you're ever launching into Windows Explorer, which let's go ahead and launch into it real fast just to show you kind of what we're working with. You know what? Let's just go with a new one here. We're gonna go into Proxmox for this. And each time we're gonna reset this machine back to its original state. So after we run our script, we'll reset it. So let's go ahead and launch and start this guy up. This is just running. This is running on a little bit old machine, so we're not giving this Windows 10 machine much room to run. So this is gonna emulate basically a piece of crap computer. The computer itself that it's virtualized on is about 7 years old. It has about 8 gigs of memory, but we're only giving this VM roughly, I think, 4 gigs of memory. So we wanted to actually get just something a little more reminiscent of that. So let's see what we got. Man, it is running a little bit like a dog. All right, let's see what we're at on display settings. Let's see if we can't clean this up a bit. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. I think we'll go with oh well. It's legible. We're gonna rock that. But yes, this is what we're gonna be starting with. It's actually 135 processes with a stock install setting. Does that double cursor bother you? Not so much. Like you know, if it's a little bit better for you, I can do this, but I like to blow it up a bit. But this is what the base machine will be. And this I just installed last night just to set up for this. But this is what happens when you install 2004 on a brand new machine, completely fresh. Nothing really going on here other than just this is the stock Windows experience. So this is what we have, and we'll go through it. If someone used this script and it broke something, just let me know in chat and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, it already took about half the memory, about 2 gigs, which is actually pretty light for Windows. Like if we pull up Edge, which this is the old version of Edge, you'll notice it'll probably spike up a little bit. Edge is actually a little more efficient than just using Chromium. So them actually moving to Chromium is actually pretty bad. So we'll actually probably do that. So you can actually see using Edge by itself, the old school Edge, not the new one. It's not too bad, but once you do Chromium or the new version of Microsoft Edge, you'll see this tick up quite a bit. So anyways, we're gonna let that go in the background. Let's finish up our script here. What networking do I have? Right now, I think I'm using a lot of Ubiquiti stuff. I do have an Aruba network switch I need to toss in. I had Aruba access points, but I switched those out with some enterprise grade Ubiquiti stuff, just because Ubiquiti access points can be difficult to set up, I guess, but they're just so darn rock solid once you do that. I love them, even though they're not a channel sponsor. I just set them up so many times, and they're just so darn reliable. I never have to worry about my kids going, all right, kick me off my game or mess with Netflix or whatever. So I just who cares? I'm just gonna get them. And they're so cheap too. I think their access points are only like 60 or 70 bucks for the base model, which is great for residential stuff. All right, application tweaks. This is something I know people have said, do not remove my OneDrive, so we're gonna take that out. And let's just go ahead. Take out OneDrive. Gonna remove that. Uninstall Microsoft Bloat, uninstall third-party Bloat. I need to take a look at both these subroutines because some people reported Office getting uninstalled. So I want to look at both of these 2 subroutines before we go. We're going to leave Windows Store completely alone and Xbox for this one. Disable Adobe Flash. Everyone should disable Flash. That's a no-brainer. This is build 2004, Alex. Please remove OneDrive. Yes, the base script does remove OneDrive. Most people know I hate OneDrive, but I understand there's some folks that use it because you give you like a terabyte for free, which, hey, free storage, they only spy on you. All right. That's cool with some folks. Not me, but for this script, we're going to leave it alone. I'm going to give you guys the options in this minimal script. You like it, you can use it. Unpin start menu icons. That's probably going to annoy some folks. Let's just comment that guy out. And we're pretty much done with this. Server specific tweaks we don't even need to worry about. So let's there's one thing I do want to tweak before we go and try this out. We're gonna look at the Microsoft bloat and third-party bloat, as I'm not sure on those 2 subroutines because I actually added a different debloat script on that. All right. Penguin, thanks so much for joining CTT member. All right, let's go down, find that out. Let's see here. I think, what was it? I'll just do a search and find it. We needed uninstall Microsoft Bloat, so we're gonna just go MSFT. There we go. All right. So this is what it's removing with the Microsoft Bloat. Haynes, thanks for becoming a CTT member. We have most of the stuff nobody uses. Some people use news, which is fine. Connectivity store, comms. So there's this kind of a tricky thing about this Debloat script is when you're removing a lot of these apps, this is a lot of the remnants they just never removed it, which is crazy. You have comms, connectivity, Windows phones. All the Windows phones are still in Windows 10 for the most part, and they never removed it. I don't know why. Byron, thanks for becoming a member, man. All right. And messaging as well. Another weird thing. So a lot of this, I'm going to leave in. Here's one that we're going to go ahead. Office Hub, I am going to leave. Some folks like the Office Hub. And Solitaire Connection, MS Paint. Should we leave MS Paint? Nah, well, let's leave MS Paint. And Minecraft. Speed test is garbage in the app form. Sin, thanks for the super chat. Remote desktop. Actually, we're going to remove remote desktop. Even if you use remote desktop, you probably don't want to use the remote desktop Windows app. So let me just show that real fast so folks understand where we're coming from here. Let's go full screen with this. Even though it's a little blocky, I'd rather just kind of blow it up a little bit. So if you want to launch this, just MSTSC, enter. That'll launch right into remote desktop. This is the old school remote desktop. This just works. So, oh boy, we got some spammers. I'm sure the mods will get them here in a second. Just ban them from the channel. All right. All right, so that's why we're removing that app, because that's not actually the same thing. Windows Store apps are separate from what's built into Windows, and remote desktop again. I've tried that app once and it's just terrible. Skype, this is one that we're probably gonna have to leave. I hate Skype because it's almost like malware these days. It just spreads all over the system, but some people use it, so we're gonna leave Skype. And Feedback Hub, Maps, Phone, Photos, Sound Recorder, and Zune. They still leave Zune on a lot of them, so we're gonna say that's okay. And then let's look through Microsoft Bloat, see if there's anything else in here that might remove something folks will use. I'm already flipping through here. Solitaire, I guess, but I'm gonna remove Solitaire. You can reinstall that through the Windows Store, I think. I just want to make sure we don't hit Office at all, which there's Office. And I think that's about it. OneNote I see here. And Sway, I don't think anybody uses Sway. We can go ahead and say that can be removed. All right, everything else looks good here. There is duplicate things in each section. Let's see here. Let's see if there's anything difference between the two. This removes the AppX package from the user. So here's the difference between the two. So this is at a user level, and this is at a systems level where it's actually removing it from all users. So when you remove an app, how it works on Windows 10 is that app can be removed from a user, but it's still sitting in the system under all users. So you have to remove it twice. Microsoft logic again. You know, it's just one of those Windows things. And as much people as hate on Windows 10, a lot of people I get So I get this all the time. Windows 7 is just as is better, which Windows 7 applications were actually more of a nightmare because a lot of times you'd have registry integrations, and applications these days don't really mess too much with the registry, which is a good thing. Back 10 years ago, almost everything jacked with the registry, and you talk about a nightmare. So a lot of people, when they look back on old systems, they have these rose-colored glasses on, and they're like, "Hey, this is perfect." And I'm like, "No, it was a terrible system." Probably one of the most egregious ones I can think of, where people have fond memories of, but was just a terrible operating system, was Windows XP. XP was just champion for the longest time, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, that was the most insecure operating system, I think, probably of all time. I mean, it was pretty bad. I probably billed somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 worth of billables, because it was just so many people get infected. I could literally remove viruses all day, every day, and it was just printing money back then. In the 2000s, during the XP era, oh man, it was so bad. So yeah. How's it going, Fluffy Cloud? I like your name. Fluffy Cloud 331. It's a good name. Sticks out in chat. All right. I think we're done with this portion. I think we're pretty much done with what we're calling from here. So this is what it is. This was actually a combination of Debloat scripts and the disassembler. So I think we're pretty much done with this. We're doing a more minimal setup on this one. So let's just save that out. And we're going to go ahead and push minimal. And that's done. So we've already pushed it to our script, so we can jump into Windows. And we'll just pull up GitHub and run this script and see where we're at. So let's go ahead, github.com. And we'll do Chris Titus Tech, where all this lives. Now, if you do have Microsoft Store issues, you might just run the enable script. So let me show you how to. Let's just pretend you remove Microsoft Store accidentally, or you just ran every script you found on the internet and ended up removing a bunch of crap. Let's start there with this install, as it would be really easy to show you how to fix that. As some people freak out and go, "You've ruined my Microsoft Windows 10. I can't believe it." I get that comment so much. I'm sorry if that's you in the crowd. I don't mean to make fun of you, but I just get that comment all the time. I'm like, no, this script's meant for as a starting place, and there's certain things you probably should have done, but it's hard to tell folks that over the internet. All right, so this is more of a minimal script. We should be able to run this pretty much on any system. So here is our minimal script we just committed, and this is all the tweaks. Let's grab that Windows Store tweak real fast. Install Windows Store. All right. So here's what you would need to run. So let's say you needed to reinstall the store. Let's just grab these two lines right here under Install Windows Store, right? So we'll copy that. Let's just launch into our PowerShell. Say yes. Again, this is a stock install, so this isn't going to do much, but it doesn't matter. Since the Windows Store is already there, we can just run these two commands. You just copy, and you use right-click to paste. That would reinstall your Windows Store. So, fun fact. Also, restore points, yeah. No, I don't think I touched restore points at all. Let me see. Let's just do. No. Help if I spelled it right. Let's see here. So if you do remove something from here, it does have like a little DISM. Somebody put this in here. I think the original script creator did that, but I don't see anything else with the restore. So I don't think we actually touch system restore. Let's go ahead and add that feature though. That's actually a good idea. Let's flip back to here. And you know what? Let's just launch into make restore point PowerShell. The power of Google. Let's see what we get. All right, let's see if we can't help folks out by doing this. Thanks so much for the super chat there, man. All right, let's I don't think we need to run this. This is running it as a task scheduler option, it looks like. I think we can just grab this one right here. And we'll do that. Restore point, modify settings. Should be fine. I think we'll test this out real fast and see. Let's take it into here. Let's launch our PowerShell. Let's see if we can't test out this line of script real fast. Oh no, that's I should have just done the search right in Windows so I could copy paste. You remove PowerShell. You can always reinstall PowerShell though. That's one reason why I like Chocolatey too. You can actually install PowerShell from Chocolatey. So Chocolatey, PowerShell. Like if you need to reinstall PowerShell, here you go. So I always add Chocolatey to every system just because it's so easy. Even no matter what you do, you could uninstall every browser, you could uninstall everything. But with Chocolatey installed, you can just reinstall stuff with just one command. So like, let's say you uninstall PowerShell, you could just boom, type that in, you'd have PowerShell back. So like, let's say you wanted that. Oh, I don't actually have Chocolatey installed. We'll do that when we do the script, but you get the idea. That's why I install Chocolatey every time, because when inevitably something happens, it's very easy to roll back. All right, we're gonna grab this guy. And we're gonna just add this to the script here. So let's just check to see that. This command cannot be run due to the following reason. The service cannot be started because it was disabled. It does not have enabled services with it. Really? They didn't disable system restore by default. It's interesting. Let's see here, system info, advanced settings, and system protection. Ah, well, it's off. Ah, I didn't realize oh, it might have been off because of disk space. Let's enable disk. All right, so this is why I like to use a stock image to where we can actually just change this. So let's go change PowerShell. Enable system restore. This should get us there. Enable computer restore. Boom. That should do it. So why I'm doing it all through PowerShell is I want to add this to the script to make sure we get everybody going. So then this will make sure, let's say something does happen, which before I do that, so just that one command, we look back in here, let's just go back. All right, let's relaunch it. Yeah, so there you go. Sometimes when you do stuff in PowerShell and you have the prompt up, it just doesn't update. Even though on the back end it's changed, it just doesn't show for the end user. So anyways, yes, system restore is now on. So we'll add this to it. the enable computer restore, and then we'll just do this one, which should create our restore point now in a perfect world. And we're going to add this to the start of the script. So then this kind of heads off that person that's like, hey, you broke my computer. Be like, well, I actually enabled a restore point and created a restore point at the start of the script, so just restore that. So this will help them out. So we'll add this to the script as well. Let's go ahead, pull it up, and we'll just do it over here. Oh, I'm not signed in though. Eesh. All right. Well, anyways, we'll pull that in. Let's just take that over here. We're going to add this to our script. And we're going to just make a new subroutine right here. We'll call this one create restore point. Boop. And well, we'll just add the subroutine towards the bottom. Actually, oh, no. Come down to the bottom. Vim has a hotkey. I was being lazy and doing pop. Page down. Actually, yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where do we want to put this? Yeah, let's just toss it right here. Function create restore point. And then we'll put this guy right here. And then we need to also enable that restore point. Keep coming back to that one. All right. Enable restore point Windows 10. Oh, single quote. Ah, thank you, Alex. Good spot. And then after this, we're going to go crazy with this script too. All right, PowerShell, PowerShell, where you at? Come on. Give me the good stuff. I'm the worst guy in the world when it comes to a viewer on YouTube. I'm just like, where's the command? Where's the command? I don't care. All right, create a restore point. No. Windows Club's actually pretty decent. I bet it gives me a PowerShell command. Where is it? Yes, there it is. Now let's go back into here. And paste that guy in. Somebody said we got a single quote error. Let's go back up, I guess. Just making sure that's good. That looks good. Yeah, I'm using low latency GSM. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna fix some spammers here, shall we? Stream elements. All right, we're gonna pull up stream elements right here. We're gonna fix some stuff just to make quality of life of this stream a little bit better. We're gonna take a hard turn. Oh no! Stream elements. Did I spell it wrong? There it is. Yep. And I'm gonna just take care of something real quick. And we're gonna go dark mode just to save on people's eyes. We go banned words. Edit. Create a new group. Timeout length. What was that word? Binoid? Timeout length 1000. Yep, that's it. All right, cool. Yeah, it does, man. It does. Yeah, this is ultra low latency. There's actually 3 levels of latency on YouTube. There's the regular, there's low latency, and then there's ultra. I did ultra, as I usually am streaming in 1080. I don't see a point. All right, there we go. gonna just say bad word. Bad wolf, I wanted to say. All right, we're good. Oh, well. Oh, well. We'll do that later. I'll work on it. YouTube is still a little bit weird on the chat box. Still working on it. Oh, well. Let's get back to our script. All right. This looks good. I think everything else is pretty solid. This should create our script. I will say, let's write output real fast just so we tell folks what we're doing during that system restore. So let's just put that right there. And all right. Oh, okay. A single quote was in the subcall. I'll go up and grab that too. Creating restore point in case something bad happens. All right. And let's go up to the top. Actually, if I take it out of that, we'll just go GG. Good game. Oh, that was a single. Good spot, man. Good spot. Alex is on the ball, man. All right. And that looks good. That looks money. All right. Let's commit that. We're gonna call this one minimal initial. I'm having single and double quote problems today. All right, we've committed that. Now we can flip over to, what was it? Our windows. Yay. Here we go. So we've got that. I think we're ready to run this minimal script just to see how it goes. Let's give it a test run. This is the raw file, right? Nope. Let's grab the raw. Actually, I think we can just... Yeah, let's just download this guy. Trying to think of the best way to execute this. We'll probably clean it up and do a one-liner after bit. For now, we're just going to go old school and run it with no execution policy. So this isn't going to be the way you'll do it. We'll do a one-liner, much like I've done in the past. But for now, let's just go ahead, download this guy. Let's see. Just download. Your voice sounds weird at 1x. It's so great. Oh my god. Oh gosh. All right, here we go. You know, I was watching a YouTube the other day, a YouTube video. I forget what it was. I like to watch Joe Rogan every once in a while, and I think he had like the most annoying person. I think it was like Ben Shapiro or somebody on. He talked so fast. He was just like, blah, 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 just like crazy. He was always in like 2x mode regular. And it was great because if you change the speed down to 0.75 on the YouTube playback, it sounded like Joe was like just completely stoned out of his mind, and the other guy sounded completely normal. It was hilarious. Oh my god, I was dying. Anyways. Here we go. This is true. Joe is always stoned. All right. Let's go ahead and run this with PowerShell. I think we actually need to elevate this. Yeah, never mind. It should self-elevate unless our execution policy is off. No, it's gonna work. Yeah, Stream Elements, Streamlabs and Elements. So YouTube chat API is really weird. I'm still learning some of the actual chat API. So I might actually end up making my own bot for this because I do love streaming on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Now let's we can go to some Q&A now while this runs in the background. You can see the progress down here. But it's just pretty much a PowerShell just spinning by. If there's an error, I'll pop it up, but looks like it's going. Can you code in PowerShell? PowerShell's more of a scripting language than anything else. So just imagine PowerShell's akin to Linux terminal. That's how I use it, at least. So it's not really scripting language. It's not really a programming language per se, but you can do some fun stuff. You can create menus and other things, which I might do like a more graphic user interface with it, and then just open source it for everyone, so you can actually go through it all. Yeah, scripting is not coding. Thank you, Peter. Well put. Oh, Peter, by the way, I gotta show you something. You're gonna laugh. You don't worry. You don't need full screen on this one. That was just for Peter. He gets it. Old Arch Linux. As I've been kind of tinkering around with that. I got a fun live stream coming up for that specific thing. But yeah. Come on. You just don't want to act right. Yeah, no, I didn't like GNOME Material Shell. I still don't like GNOME as a desktop environment in Linux, just because it was, GNOME, it seemed just a bit heavy for me. Like, I really like the minimal approach, and the minimal approach is amazing when it comes to, I wanted to get it under like 1,000 packages, so I've been working on creating my own custom one where I don't even install a desktop environment, and yeah, should be pretty good. Looks like our script's rebooting. Indexing is disabled in your script. I'm guessing most people want to search their stuff on their Windows install. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Narim. I need to actually do that. Yes, Linux live stream in the future. That's going to be the next live stream. I'm going to go over building out basically your own desktop using just a Windows Manager. Like I love Awesome Window Manager. I've shown it like a billion videos, but I'll do that on the next live stream for sure. Yeah, you can actually remove store and stuff, which is cool. So yeah, the reason why I love Awesome for Linux a lot of times is just because of how clean it is and how good it looks with like a material theme on it. Temp OS. Yeah, Temple OS is not for me. It makes for a good YouTube video, but that's about it. I did see Linus Tech Tips actually did a Temple OS video. I almost died. I was like, are you kidding me? This is amazing. This is the greatest thing ever. I love Anthony from LTT. I know that was his idea. That was so great. All right, we're back on the desktop. Let's see. We're gonna run that script one more time because that was a little fast. I need a speed reader to follow this chat. Yeah, Don. I catch a lot of it. If you're a YouTube channel member, just click the little join button. But if you're a channel member, it actually highlights the messages, so it's a little easier to read. Like, that's why I've been responding to Alex a whole bunch, just because it's so easy to pull them out. And I think, Don, I think I have you as an admin or a moderator, too, because you show up quite a bit as well. Because mods have special color fonts, too. All right, let's run that script one more time. That was a little quick, but this time, let's edit it a little bit and take out that reboot, because I wanted to see if we had any issues with that. So let's come down to the end, and where's that reboot command? Where are you at, reboot? It might have actually been in the very top call. Ah, it was, wasn't it? And somebody actually mentioned indexing as well. So let's fix indexing. Or actually, we'll do that on the other side, because I don't have my GitHub actually linked up here. So I can't do the commit afterwards. And all these scripts are going to be available directly from GitHub as well, so. Ah. I have wait for key in there. Oh, well. You know what? Let's just remove this. We're just going to remove the reboot function. I don't like the fact it just flipped right past. And let's find index, disable indexing. Most people will want that. You were correct, kind sir in chat, to point that out. If there's any other shortcomings of the script that you think people will actually use, let me know. So I think that should get us to where we need. Yeah, OneDrive's still there. You can see it right here in the bottom. OneDrive's still a-kicking. Most of everything else looks good. Could you remove all the hyper emoting and stuff? I think I'm gonna leave most of that in for this one. On the heavy-handed script, we're gonna go super heavy on that one, where we're just gonna remove as much stuff as we possibly can. Just know that if you run that script, it's probably gonna break something. But it will be very, very similar to like LTSC Windows 10. So, all right, I think we're good here. Let's run this script and see what we get. You know what? I think we can just run it from here. Should self-elevate. Ah, crap. Oh well. Apparently not. We'll just set the execution policy. Alright, CD and downloads. Nothing? Was this on the oh, it's on the desktop. I was like, did I miss that? Alright, we're gonna run minimal. Alright, minimal. Here we go. Oh. Nope. I got a syntax error, guys. That's why it killed us. Line 165. Oop. Always read your error messages. Reading is half the battle. Actually, it's most of the battle. I wanted to insert a random G.I. Joe reference there, but it didn't work. Alright, let's just go 165. Alright. 165. Oh, it even tells us, look, like, hey, that's not right. Wait, what? Why is that like that? What am I missing? What am I missing there? Parsing error. Huh. Missing expression after the comma. Did I miss something? Let's just put it back in. Maybe there's just some random. Okay, maybe go to the next line. Maybe I did something. Oh, you know what? That's the last one. There doesn't need to be a comma there. I removed the other ones. Ah, that's right. I was like, wait a second, that looks like the right syntax. Took me a minute. Dir. It's the last comma. Yeah. And this is where there's that awkward delay between chat and me. If you caught that, good on you guys. All right, here we go. There's always that when you're scripting or coding or anything. There's always that one little thing. And honestly, if I was like coding a program, I would just live stream it all day long and just have random people come and chat. Because imagine you have a literally probably 100 eyeballs watching and going, oh, well, no, you missed that syntax. And then, you know, yeah, that's pretty cool that you're able to do all that, which is great. see if there's anything. Yeah, home group's already ripped out. Execution policy needs to be set outside of the script. You can get around it though, like that one-liner that I do. I actually launch a PowerShell, and you can actually set the execution policy in the environment that your PowerShell sits on during that, and then you run the script in that environment. So that one-liner, how I get around the execution policy, much like how a virus gets installed on your PC when you have UAC enabled, it just sets an environment to where it can execute on a global level. Hence why I'm always like, Windows is not secure. And then people are like, oh, no, it is. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the worst operating system for a reason. It's not just because it's the biggest. It's just poor design. But that poor design actually makes things a little easier on us because we can run massive scripts and infect and basically make big changes, sweeping changes rather easily. So even though it is not very secure of an operating system, we can make pretty much everything done with just one line of code and change the entire operating system, which is super powerful. Just scary at the same time. All right, so this is pretty much done. Let's give it one more reboot. I went ahead and enabled indexing on this one. I need to go back into the code over here while this reboots. And we're gonna just go vim minimal, and let's do indexing. Should I leave the restart, the auto restart, guys? What are you guys feeling on that one? I think, I kind of like to not to auto restart. I don't know. I like to just stare at the command, what it did last. That's just me. Yeah, let's just take out the restart. I'm taking out the restart, and then we're gonna also take out that index. Where's index at? Where are you at, index? All right, let's just do a search. Index. Okay. Next. All right, here we go. That's what I needed. We're just gonna grab index real quick. Enable that. And then we're gonna call this minimal final, and we're pretty much done with the minimal script, I think, after this. As long as our reboot's fine. That would suck if it died on the other side. But here we go. We're back in here. Let's see where we're at. So we did just a minimal install. If there's any other tweaks to the minimal script, this is something that I think can be run on anything, and we should be good. LRV, this is actually no desktop environment. It's all built around Awesome Window Manager. I'm creating a script on that. I want to make a one-line script you can just hit enter, and it installs Linux, formats your drives, does all the setup, and sets it up exactly like my system. Not an ISO, but an actual script. You just need to be able to boot into Arch, and then it does everything for you with one line. I love the one line commands where it just takes control of your computer and just does everything for you. I'm obsessed with automation. And you can see that on my YouTube videos. A lot of people think I have this big team of people and oh my God, you do all this different stuff all over the place. I'm like, no. A lot of people overcomplicate things. They don't realize technology's there to be used and abused by us. Not the other way around. A lot of people let technology use and abuse them, but they're basically free workers, and it's just making that technology work so darn well that it just removes a job, basically, to where you don't really need a whole bunch of people. Anyways, small rant. You get those every once in a while on my live streams. All right. Let's see how this script did. Are we still sitting at 130? No. We dropped about 20 processes on the minimal. However, that utilization, man, that's solid. That utilization's pretty darn low. So not bad. Minimal, Shouldn't mess anything up, but if it does, we went ahead and added that restore point. So if you ever need to go, oh my God, Titus, you messed up my computer, you should be able to just go, restore. Yeah. I can't spell restore, but you got it. Restore point. And then just go system restore. And then you can say, okay, restore to this point in time. So let's just go ahead and restore this thing. Or let's see what all the restore points are on this machine. I'm curious now. Oh yeah. So just that one. Let's see if this restores it back. Let's test out system restore. It's been a while since I've done a system restore. I'm curious. I am genuinely curious. Still uses half the memory though. The memory actually ticked up a little bit, which is kind of interesting. Some of the rhyme and reason of Windows just doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Ansible, Puppet. Ooh, Puppet. No, I hate Puppet. Puppet can go die in a fire. That is the worst, most unuser-friendly Red Hat automation program in the world. I think, was it Puppet YAML files? I forget what it was and where I was. But I remember just wanting to beat my head up against a wall messing around with Puppet. Ansible's amazing though. Like the Ansible playbooks. You talk about, that's the future right there. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. I'm out on Puppet. It's like, this sucks. I got what I needed done. And then I was like, I never want to do this ever again. That was my experience with Puppet. Yes. Yeah, the minimal removes is telemetry. Nobody wants telemetry. Like, I mean, the whole point of the minimal script was mainly just to be like, hey, this is meant to be something to where everyone can run it. It's not going to mess with any settings. All your programs should still be there, but it's going to remove all the stuff that everyone hates. Telemetry, a lot of just garbage apps like Candy Crush and other stuff. All your Office apps are left intact. You know, just that type of stuff is really what this is supposed to do. So yeah, this is a good point. So like when I said I don't use Windows Restore, it's because I don't. Like in business, no one uses Windows Restore unless you just get like completely desperate, I guess. Maybe. No, I can't even remember the last time I used Windows System Restore. But anyways, I added it to the script because it's there. Everyone can have it. It's some kind of backup. I'm just curious to see how well it restores. Remember, we were sitting at about 130 processes. So let's see how well the System Restore actually restored things, because it's kind of notorious for kind of not working in a lot of instances. So let's see. Yeah, it didn't restore all the way, guys. Yeah, System Restore's kind of like one of them things. It can only restore so much. God bless. It like restored like 3 or 4 processes. That's funny though. All right. That's okay. So this was the minimal script. That's on GitHub if you guys want to do that. We'll make a one-liner. I'll make a new web page on christitus.com. We can do that at the end here. We'll make a web page. I'll publish it. Takes like 5 minutes to make a post on my website, and I'll show that whole thing. System Restore, you're funny. That's just cute. We're gonna restore from Snapshot though, guys. Again, there's a reason why no one uses System Restore in business. We rely on some good backups. All right, we're gonna restore this guy. And let's start after restore. We're gonna permanently erase everything. Yes. So let's bring it back. So what I did was I created an image at the start of this, just basically say, hey, here's a brand new, fresh, never touched Windows instance. As soon as you start touching Windows, it's just like one of those things. You better have a proper backup and restore, otherwise you'll never get it back to exactly how it was. Time for a rebloat script. I could probably do that, but no, I'm not doing that. I want telemetry, Cortana, and cloud disabled. You got a script for that? Oh, Windows, I love you. Buy a decent computer, problem solved. Yeah, I mean, you could always throw more resources at stuff. People do that all the time. I mean, that's a normal thing. All right, this is gonna take a minute. If you guys have any questions, let me know in chat, and we'll come back after this restores, and we'll go into the heavy side of things, because we're gonna remove a whole bunch of stuff on the heavy. Note, heavy means it's gonna probably remove some stuff that you're gonna need. I can't say that enough. I can't say that enough. When we go heavy with this stuff and we really start modifying Windows, it's gonna break something. Does Proxmox perform better than VM Workstation? So Proxmox is more of a, it's just kind of like apples to oranges a little bit. Like, if you wanted a comparable Proxmox to VMware, you'd have to put it on like a host and do it. VM Workstation just it sits on top of an operating system, where Proxmox is more bare metal. It's not quite bare metal, because it does sit, I think Debian Linux is its base. If you want like a full-on like enterprise grade stuff and you want to learn some stuff, I really love the XCP-ng project. So this is amazing. Oh yeah, I'd probably go 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, I think is about what I do. It makes editing the stream kind of a pain, and I would pretty much burn a day on Sunday editing the stream and putting it up on Titus Tech Tips, or Titus Tech Tips, Titus Tech Talk. Hopefully Linus isn't watching and sue me. No, he wouldn't. I'm sure he would just laugh at that. But XCP-ng, let me see. Let me grab the address for you guys. xcpng.org. This is amazing. This is true bare metal virtualization. I probably will go back to XCP-ng, but I really like Proxmox just for YouTube videos and live streams. Yeah. It just depends on what I'm doing. If we have something to do, then I want to just get through what I'm doing, because I want to turn. So the whole purpose of the streams is to kind of work through what we're doing and then make an actual video afterwards. And the video will probably be 10 to 15 minutes. So if you don't like to hear my random rambles, then by all means do that. But here you go. Here's the actual address, xcpng.org. I want a night-night equivalent PowerShell-based service. Avi, just do Chocolatey. Chocolatey is pretty much the same thing as night-night. You can string multiple programs in. It's a lot more powerful than night-night. Night-night's awesome, though. I love night-night. Oh, yeah. Sparky actually runs the store. So the whole point of this was to create... I did some Teespring at the when I first launched my channel, like in early 2019. But I hate Teespring products because I bought the shirt because I'm not going to tell you guys to buy something if I don't buy it. So I bought it and I felt the shirt and I was like, my God, this is like thinner than paper. And it was just so crappy. And I spent like $26 to $30 on that shirt. And I was like, this stinks. That's why I don't really advertise Teespring on my channel. I had a couple shirts and I was just like, meh. I mean, it'd be a cool collector's item and be like, hey, look at my crappy merch that I had when I first launched. So then I got with Sparky, or Digital Sparky's in chat, and he runs Australian-based IT company, and he's actually set up a different store that actually goes through a third-party vendor. Store.christitus.com is where it's at. And we've been working on getting some good shirts printed. And I did one of the shirts. It was really good. It ran a little small, so if you're on the cusp between like medium and large like me, you might want to go large. Otherwise, you're going to be like, check out my pecs, little man. You know, as it does shrink a little bit. But other than that, the quality was like way better. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Because I wanted something good for merch. So that's why we did the secondary detached store from YouTube. But again, store.christitus.com. It's still in beta. So, you know, I think we've got a couple orders, but we don't really advertise yet. But I'm going to start pushing that, especially on the live streams. What's the sponsor today? Raid Shadow Legends. Check out this terrible mobile game that just keeps blowing up my inbox. And I finally just caved, not for the money, just because I was tired of getting the emails. There you go. There's the free ad spot. Oh my god. Yeah, Raid can go die in a fire. I'm never gonna do a Raid Shadow Legends ad spot. If I do, you guys know that I'm in a really bad spot financially. That's the tipping point. That's how you know things really went downhill for me. Zen servers, it's Zen server based. XCP-ng better than KVM. Yes, it's considerably better than KVM. Because KVM runs on top of it, so there's a big difference between the two. All right. Got everything back and restored to our nice little snapshot. Let's see where our tasks are. Ah, back to the static. So, all right, we're done with the reset here. And we're back to 130 processes, the stock install. But the funny thing is, even though our processes went down after that debloat, look at the memory. This is an interesting thing. The memory actually went up. Because on the other, after doing the debloat, it was up to about 2 gigs instead of 1.6. So even though the process got cut about by 24 processes, is about 110. Even though 24 less processes, more memory was being used. Kind of interesting. I mean, these days memories are so cheap, it doesn't matter unless you have 4 gigs of memory, and then it matters. That's kind of an interesting tidbit from that. So, all right, but look at the CPU usage. Lordy, that CPU usage is just getting hammered. All right, now it's time to go with the heavy-handed script, guys. Yeah. Yeah, no. When I said Teespring Peter earlier, it was just it was when I first launched the channel. I was like, oh, okay, and then I grabbed a couple shirts. I still wear them from time to time, but it was just terrible. It was just terrible. All right, we're gonna go Win 10, and we're gonna go LTSC this time. Let's try and make it LTSC style, but we're gonna go super LTSC. Let's call it Ultra LTSC. We're gonna go ham on this one. We're gonna totally break this operating system into a billion bits. It wouldn't be a stream of mine if I didn't completely break something. Pros and cons between XCP-ng and Proxmox. You know, when it comes to it, I really like XCP-ng. It's a lot more professional. It's a lot better suited for headless environments. So if you don't need to do any displays like this right here, if you're doing a lot of displays through it, Proxmox does a little bit better because you have access to Spice and the VNC built in. You can change the resolutions rather easily. But if you aren't doing much presenting with the VMs and you're just running headless, which means no display, XCP-ng every single day of the week will beat the pants off of Proxmox. I love XCP-ng. Proxmox is based on Debian as well, which, if you're not familiar with Linux distros, Debian's a little bit less secure compared to a Rail-based kernel, which is, guess what? XCP-ng runs on CentOS, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Well, I mean, it's not technically Red Hat Enterprise Linux, but it pretty much is. So that's what's up with that. All right, so we're gonna go super heavy on this one. we're gonna just strip out everything. We're gonna get rid of Adobe again. I got so much crap for putting Adobe and Media Player Classic in there. We're just gonna get rid of pretty much everything we can. We're gonna just, oh man, we're gonna just, let's strip out everything. Let's see what we can do here. Like I said, this is not gonna be for the faint of heart. We're gonna disable server file sharing. We're gonna just rip that out. Let's disable LLMNR. We're gonna do set to private, unknown, disable network devices, controlled access. We're gonna disable the firewall, disable Defender, disable script host. Oh man, we're gonna just go completely crazy. Right. Let's disable memory integrity. We're gonna go ultra unsecure on this one as well. So definitely don't put this on a laptop. And let's go a little bit more here. We're gonna disable remote desktop. So one thing I like to do on all my systems too, I need to go on a little tangent here about UTC and time management in Windows and Linux and Mac. So when it comes to Linux and Mac, they use something called UTC. This is Universal Time something, whatever. UTC basically means, hey, we're gonna check with the internet and see what time it is, or it's gonna be more universal, where the local time just goes off of the actual BIOS time. So Windows does local still because it's just dumb, and they wanted to do it for compatibility reasons, but really they just are too lazy to change to UTC like the rest of the world. So every single time I change this to UTC instead of local time, because if you multi-boot, you do anything, you always want to be running UTC, and running on local time's silly. Like some people actually change like Linux or Mac to run on local time, and I'm like, why? It's terrible. Don't do that. Just change Windows to always run on UTC. So. Did my chat stop? Oh, my chat died. There we go. I'll relaunch it. That was weird. I was like, man, my chat's not moving. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, do a complete bulk replays. That would be bad idea. Bad idea, guys. All right, continuing on. We're gonna hide. No, we don't need to hide. That's more of a security setting. Flipping through here. Did you know you could remove program files, Windows apps, and remove store with all bloatware? I think there's still some other hooks in there, Canadian King, that does not get removed. All right, let's see. High file operations. Nope. This is just UI tweaks. Nothing. This isn't gonna matter. Performance. Don't really care about. You know what? Yeah, let's just hide music, hide video, hide 3D objects. Which I've never used 3D objects folder in Windows. I probably should look up to see what the heck that is, because it's on every Windows install forever, and I don't think I've ever used 3D objects. Does anybody in chat know what the heck 3D objects folder is in Windows 10? Because I've never looked it up. I always just disable it because I never use it. All right, we're gonna remove Windows Store. We're gonna remove Xbox. We're gonna just pretty much strip out everything. Let's remove Hyper-V. Let's get rid of it. Uninstall the XPS printer. Remove fax printer. Oh, we're gonna go big on this one. Is there anything else here? 3D Builder. Oh, it's for the new MS Paint. Well, that's why. I always remove that program. Oh, that's funny. 3D Paint. That's funny. All right. This is basically gonna uninstall Windows 10. All right. There's something here though. I almost want to go crazy with this one. We can do better. We can do better. This isn't gonna get us to everywhere where we really want to be. We want to be at like 50 processes, right? Let's go big. Let's go big or go home. That's my motto. Let's Black Viper I think has Viper script. I think Mad Bomb actually created something like this. It's a little dated. Not too... Ooh, you know what? Service configurations, but it's now public domain. All right, cool. Black Viper scripts from back in the day. It's awesome. All right, needed files. Let's do this. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna integrate Black Viper scripts into this guy as well. That's gonna be a fun one. Want my old Debloat script for inspiration? Ink. Would you recommend this script for LTSC? I would not recommend this script for anybody because we're gonna just be stripping out everything we can, and if you're not familiar with Windows, chances are it's gonna strip something out and you're gonna have a heck of a time putting it back. So this is really just for the hardcore users out there that really just want a ridiculous amount of stuff removed. So, like I said, I'm not gonna recommend this script. I just wanted to make it to, well, just to have fun with this. Let's go. Do I have any other applications on here? Oh man, I don't, do I? Well, oh well. We'll just edit it directly. Save, tweak, BV home, Black Viper home, Black Viper Defense Pro. All right, let's take a look at the syntax here. Oh, let's go. How to use. Let's read some stuff. Do not rename the files. Have the files in the same directory. Next, follow basic and advanced usage. All right, you can run it as the bat file. Recommended. Ah, okay. So they already have a bat file here. Let's open that up. Let's take a peek. Yeah, I'm all over the place. So I ran. So as a for those guys that don't watch me over on the Linux side, I've run every Linux distribution. If you're interested in Linux, I always recommend Linux Mint. I ran Mint for a long time, and then I actually made something about Ubuntu, kind of overly critical of Ubuntu about a year ago, as I'm not a big Ubuntu Linux fan, and I just don't like the distro, even though Linux Mint's based on it, and so is Pop! OS, which I both love both those distros. But I wanted to kind of troll everybody when I'm making Linux videos. For a while there, I ran Ubuntu for probably 3 or 4 months with this same theme. So I make my Linux, it doesn't matter what I'm running. It always looks the same. And sometimes I like to troll folks where they'll be like, oh, he's on Arch. And I'll be like, nope, that's Ubuntu. Just as a goof. So, all right, Black Viper. We're going to grab this script, run that as well after our heavy-handed script here. Just as that. I don't think I'll integrate this just yet. I might do that offline. Might come back to this. Oh. All right, here we go. File manager's Nautilus. I really like Nautilus. When you're in here, I like to just be able to type just little basic commands up at the top. So when you're interfacing with terminal in here, it just makes things a little quicker. If you're using Dolphin, I think Dolphin has it integrated. I added a little something extra to Nautilus to make it themed a bit. I wanted to just kind of customize everything to my personal tastes. And again, I'm making that script. We might do that as a live stream next. For the next one. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, Black Viper. Let's finish this script out, and then we'll do a commit. I think that should be good. Let's get rid of these 2 on the end. Get rid of our quote so we don't run into problems. And I think that should do it. We're just gonna do pretty heavy-handed. This one's gonna be heavy initial. Yeah, I'm these days. I loved KDE desktop environment for the longest on Linux. I just kind of I ended up just saying, you know, that's bloat. Everything's bloat and debloat with me. But yeah, I ended up just going, you know, I want the absolute minimal, I think. And when you just do a neo fetch here, just for you Linux guys out there, I'm under 1,000 packages here. So I have my browser running, I have everything running. I'm at under 1,000 packages installed, minimal resource usage. I have tons of programs open. I'm about 3 gigs, which is nothing compared to the 16 I got. I probably can improve this a bit more, and I will when I do that script. So, all right. So now for the heavy-handed LTS version of this, let's go ahead let's grab some stuff here. Let's go Black Viper script. Let's grab that, and we'll just grab that guy, and then we're gonna grab our heavy script as well. So let's go ahead, go over to Chris Titus Tech, and we're gonna grab that one. I've been meaning to do an update on the PinePhone. I wanted to wait till I could use it as a daily driver, because that's the big thing. Like when I read comments on YouTube, of course, and a lot of the comments were like, yeah, but can you use it instead of an alternative to Android and iPhone? And I want to make the next video something that makes a splash, you know, something like, hey, yeah, I'm using this as my daily driver, and I'm making phone calls, I'm receiving texts, everything's great. And until I can make that video, I really don't want to make a bunch of fluff videos. I'd like to make something that's impactful. So that's what's up. That's what's up with that. All right. We got our Ultra LTSC script. We'll run that first. And let's extract all that. Oh, is our downloads not there? Oh no, we're good. All right, let's close that. We're gonna extract this, so we're gonna actually run 2 scripts on this one, and you'll see what we're doing. Yeah, so the cursor is X11. This is a virtual machine, just so we could just go ham and not have to worry about anything. And there's that script. Let's extract the Black Viper one as well. All right, so we're starting. Here's our starting point. Starting at 125 process. This is actually dropped from when we initially launched. When we initially launched, it was about 134. It looks like it finally calmed down a bit. Even though the memory usage has gone up, that's kind of interesting how that works with Windows. So let's go crazy here. We're gonna run. Crap, where's my script? Refresh? Nope. Did it not grab it? No. Well, that is just unfortunate. Oh. Well, all right, guys. 1 second. I thought I grabbed the new one. Maybe it was just like an old one that still queued up. Did I do the commit? I thought I did. And we'll run this really, really heavy LTS script and see what happens. I imagine this is going to just tear Windows 10 a new one. Massive destruction, and then we're going to go disable a crap ton of services. Let's see how light we can... It's there. GitHub just messed up. It's because it's run by Microsoft, that's why. Sorry, I had to crack a joke. Had to crack a joke about that. All right, here we go. And there it is. All right, we're good. Just took a minute to populate. Ultra LTSC. Here we go. This is going to be the heavy-handed script. We're going to run this. It's going to remove a ton of stuff. I would probably expect this to get us about 100 processes. So we're going from about 130, 120s down to about 100, I imagine, with this script. So we'll let this run in the background. This might take a minute. Why don't you use GitLab instead of GitHub? I just haven't switched. They're both the same to me. When it comes to companies, I'm always like, just give it time. GitLab will do something stupid to make everybody mad. The only way I would probably switch from GitHub, probably like run my own server directly off of christitus.com. Like I've been slowly pulling everything into christitus.com too, guys. I've switched off Patreon for the most part. I still post over Patreon, but I have a members section in christitus.com where I just accept everybody in there and all the posts and everything. I just kind of wanted to curate my own section to where if you become a member at christitus.com, you'll actually get some real world value all right there. And I can curate that screen to say, hey, here you go. Here's the ebook I did on like Manjaro Architect, which I need to do more. I keep saying I will, but I haven't yet. Here's all my unlisted playlists that you can just click on and go through it all. And all of that, I just wanted to make it there to where I don't have to worry about a company doing something dumb. And then all of a sudden I promise people a whole bunch of stuff and I can't deliver. And with all the drama going on with Patreon, that's when I was like, I'm just going to host it all myself. And if I was going to switch off GitHub, I would just put it all on my website and just say, all right, I'm responsible 100% for it. And then I never have to worry about a company going bankrupt or somebody doing massive lawsuits against that company. And then all of a sudden they have to do some shenanigans to get by. I don't want to mess with any of that. At the end of the day, there's no perfect company. Like the thing that drives me crazy about just in general today is people think that one company is better than another. And at the end of the day, every company's looking to make money off of you. And it's only when you take complete ownership and you are the end-to-end responsibility, then that's when I think you have the best experience. Because no company's perfect. Every company's gonna mess with you and farm your data and all that stuff. It's not until you just literally decouple from companies in general before you can do it. But those folks that are like, hey, I'm gonna switch from this platform to this platform and this platform's better, I'm like, just give it time. Just give it time. Once that platform matures, it's gonna have all the same problems as this other one. And yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. What do you recommend for antivirus? I have a recommended antivirus down below. It's ESET is what I'm currently recommending. Antivirus is a funny thing because if you don't want to pay money on an antivirus, just use Windows Defender. I stand 100% by that. Like Windows Defender's detection rates aren't bad. As much as I make fun and poke fun at Microsoft for it, it's a decent free antivirus that comes with Windows. And if you can't afford an antivirus, just leave Defender on there. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing I hate the most is people that install free antivirus or use the bundled antivirus that comes with their systems. There's terrible antivirus out there. There's actually antivirus out there that I would rather have a virus than have the antivirus. McAfee, Norton, just a whole bunch of them. So, just to name a few. Kaspersky's not terrible. I'm not a huge fan of Kaspersky, but it's one of those things. I hate Avast. I really, really don't like Avast. I don't like I don't like Trend Micro. I don't like Norton. I don't like McAfee. I don't like Panda. I don't like God, there's so many. It's easier to just the names, the ones I don't mind. ESET, I did mind. There's a couple others out there. I'm trying to think. I recommended WebRoot for the longest time, but they haven't really seen much development. Malwarebytes is good. Bitdefender is also very good. Sophos can be a little bit heavy, but still good. Like, there's the heavy end ones that I don't particularly like myself, but if you're really obsessed with security, you can go with. When you get into Kaspersky and those type of really heavy antivirus, like Sophos has a really good scanning environment. It's just not, even though their detection rates are like the absolute top, I really hate them because they're so heavy, they're annoying, they're constantly prompting and blocking a whole bunch of crap that really doesn't. I really like unobtrusive antivirus. I like things to where I don't even know there's an antivirus on my machine. I hate pop-ups. I hate if there's any kind of ads with antivirus, I'm out. That falls in the realm of a virus. And I think that goes back to the origins of antivirus. I mean, you got to remember the first person to write a virus was, I think, one of the very first persons to write the antivirus. So one of those things. It was always a money-making scheme at the start, and it still seems like one, to where there's times where I've recommended a lot of these antiviruses I've just kind of shot down because they were good once upon a time, but a lot of them just kind of blowed up and become, what's that? It's like that Star Wars meme, You have become the thing you swore to destroy. I mean, that fits so many antivirus companies. They are literally almost viruses themselves in some regards. So it just depends on the antivirus, but there's still a lot of good ones out there that are recommended. And a lot of them from chat, I think, is okay. I personally hate Kaspersky. But I do know people that swear by it. But I recommend ESET. Like, if you say, hey, pick one, links down in the description. And ESET's one I set on. Will it always be ESET? Man, I don't know. Antivirus is, like I said, I never really talk about it very much just because I'm just like, ugh, antivirus. They're gonna just let me down. So yeah. All right. I think we're back in. All right, now we need to run our Black Viper. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. So I just did something. Fun hotkey. I'm so used to hotkeys in Windows. If you want to pull up File Explorer, this is a big hotkey for everyone. Hold the Windows key and press the E for Explorer, and it'll pull up your file manager. Everyone should use this hotkey. If you're not using this hotkey, I can't tell you how inefficient you're being. So Windows key and E, you'll literally change your life. And honestly, when it comes to Linux, when I'm doing it, I make that same hotkey. So my hotkeys carry over between operating systems. So when I did the Windows key and E, it actually pulled up my Linux file Explorer because this is just a virtual machine. But Windows key and E, remember it, use it, love it, live it. It's fantastic. But we're gonna go old school because I don't know what I did with it. Explorer. I can't use my hotkeys. Steve, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. All right, we're gonna run our Black Viper script here. Where's our batch file? Let's run that. So what Black Viper does, even from the XP days, he actually ended up selling part of this script, but it became public domain, so you can get it for free off GitHub. It's basically all these customized tweak settings for Windows. So we're gonna go tweaked on this one. And we're gonna go from default to safe. We're gonna just change all services here. Like I said, we're going ham on this one. We're gonna just try and remove as much, but we're gonna just change all services. We're gonna go fully tweaked, and we're gonna go ahead and hit run. Let's see where we're at on processes right now. Probably about 100 is what I'd guessed. Ooh, 110, 112. Not great, but we're about to change that with our Black Viper script. We're gonna just skip all build checks. It says, hey, it wants the 1703 or 1803. Yeah, we're on 2004. But I bet this script still works because how the back end of Windows, it really hasn't changed that much in a while. All right, so we've changed quite a bit of services. You can see all the different Windows services that are now set to manual from automatic or set from manual to disabled. So this one, let's see what it does on that. I bet we changed 67 services and had only a couple errors, so we're pretty good. Good title for this video is Making Windows 10 Usable. Oh, I need to do that. I forget where I got this CP Programmer, Keep Calm and Run Linux t-shirt. My wife actually got it for me. And yeah, it was fun. I forget where we were at. There was a bunch of Keep Calm shirts. I think she got the Doctor Who shirt. We love our Doctor Who. And she ended up picking up the Linux shirt for me. Is Black Viper two separate things. So what we're doing in this heavy-handed script, we've done a lot of different things. A lot of the newer store, all the Windows apps we've removed, a lot of the services we've changed. Black Viper just changes services. Task Scheduler is another way where a lot of processes hide. You have registry. There's a lot of different places where things live. And then you have the actual system settings. So O&O Shutup really changes a lot of the system settings to be more privacy and that oriented, which is great. And this script, my actual script, actually downloads O&O Shutup, and then I have a config file. It runs in conjunction with it that just does the recommended settings. So it does make you more privacy and security oriented. And then it does strip out a lot of store stuff. We went a little overboard with this script, and I wanted to do something a little extra with the actual Windows services with Black Viper. So let's see where we're at now. Not as much as I thought. 103 processes. So we ended about 103. I think they've just kind of bloated up Windows. I remember I could get this down more by doing custom ISOs, which I've done videos on custom ISOs. My recommended one was the MSMG toolkit. And the MSMG toolkit, I need to make a new video on that one. So I think they've updated it for 2004, but stripping out more stuff. You can get technically down to about 60 processes or maybe even less by stripping out more stuff on the actual install portion of it. But as far as debloating on a heavy install, this is as pretty heavy as you can get. Although there's still some stuff like this still left over. Netflix, Microsoft News, that was still left over. We got unpin that. Let's see. We can change some more stuff here. Let's see if I bet we can get it under 100. All right, let's clean this up a little bit more. There's one big task setting that has a huge performance. If you have a piece of crap computer, go to background apps and Windows settings. Make sure this is off, because this will make a big performance difference. But it'll also make Windows apps not work all that well. So, and I'm gonna just check store. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure the store wasn't there, but it's not. So that's about, gosh, come on, get under 100. It went up in process. Heck. Although, look at our memory. Our memory did drop to 1.3. So I'm gonna say that's a win. Not exactly as big of a win as I wanted, though. So, CAD user, you ask about disabling background indexing. I actually did disable background indexing in this script. The minimal script, though, a lot of people still use that. So I left background indexing on. Me personally, I always remove background indexing. Yeah, so there's a couple cool things, and I'll probably just do some Q&A here. So if you have any questions, just let me know. What are my PC specs? So it just depends on the PC I'm on. This current PC is a 2700 with 16 gigs of memory, RX 580 card. The Streambox That is another 2700, 16 gigs of memory with 1660 NVENC encoder 2. As I'm doing this stream, I do two levels of encoding. So the first level, I do X264 for the actual stream itself, and then I use NVENC 2 on high settings, where it's a pretty big file that's recording this entire stream as I go. So let's say something happens in the stream, I can just kill it and just delete the file off YouTube and then re-upload it to Titus Tech Talk. And then the other machine down there is an Intel i5, and that has 8 gigs of memory with, I think I got an RX 570 in that one. There was a series you did over PCI pass-through, but you didn't do looking glass videos. Is this planned to do in the future? I'm glad you asked. So a lot of people ask about looking glass, PCI pass-through, because most people know that I run Linux down here. I did PCI pass-through, and on my Gigabyte motherboard on my inside PC, which was a 1700, 16 gigs of memory, and a Vega 64, that one worked fantastic for my PCI pass-through. It required 2 graphics cards, 2 separate graphics cards, not of the same series. So when I say same series, you can't like blend a RX 570 with a 580 and do PCI pass-through. They need to be 2 separate cards. I would recommend getting an NVIDIA and an AMD card if you're thinking about this, and a Gigabyte motherboard. Because on inside PC, it took me about an hour. I got through it all, got PCI pass-through working, and it was fantastic. However, I got an ASRock and an ASUS motherboard. I tried PCI pass-through on both of those boards with complete abysmal failure. The IO-MMU groups were grouped together. I couldn't separate them. I even looked, Level 1 Text is actually really good. They actually brought Looking Glass, and if you're interested in Looking Glass, definitely check out Wendell's video going over Looking Glass. But anyways, he made a script to kind of help take apart those IO-MMU groups and separate things out. Those motherboards just were incompatible. So it didn't matter what I did on those PCs, I could never get PCI pass-through working. And I should have probably known that, because I was trying on boards that were more low end. And I think the higher end boards with certain chipsets are a little more friendly to PCI pass-through. As I said, my Gigabyte one just worked right out of the box. I really didn't have to do too much past the guide that I was following, which was from Hikari Knight. So I don't recommend PCI pass-through. I'm not going to do any more videos over PCI pass-through. It's extremely technically demanding, and it depends on your hardware. Some hardware is just incompatible completely with it. So not only do you have to be very technically competent, but your hardware will determine your rate of success. And I was like, this is terrible. So that's why you don't see very much PCI pass-through videos. That's why I never did a follow-up, because I was like, it's cool, but it's not practical for very many people to do. So I don't ever recommend it. So I just built a second system, and that system behind me right there, that's all Windows all the time. And I just use NVIDIA game streaming, and then on all my Linux boxes, like this one down here, I'll show you guys real fast. So when I'm making Windows videos, I never like using VMs at all. I just used a VM for today's video just because, well, it's easy. Oh wow, that's like really scrunched. I'm still getting used to this. Go to the next image. Come on. Sorry, that's gonna bother me. Ah, better, okay. Anyways. Done messing with my wallpaper. All right, Moonlight is an open source project that interfaces with it, so you can just launch right into whatever game it is. So let's say I wanted to play Minerock Bedrock Edition, or Windows 10 Edition, I should say. You can just click it, launch right in. Or I do like Notepad++ if I want to just kind of tinker around with the desktop. Let's see what we get. So then it just comes right in. So then I can actually, if I'm doing a Windows video, I can just be like, okay, let's just do that. Let's go settings and come in here and do our updates and whatever it is. And I can show everything. And it's as if I'm on a Windows machine, but really I'm just game streaming. That's all I'm doing. And you can see it like whenever I hit my performance metrics. Check this out. Look at my little I got an RTX 2060 in here. Look, it is working, man. It is working. So, but this is what I use to stream all my games, man. And this is how I do it, all my stuff. So I never actually have to live in Windows. I never have to open up a Windows browser. I never have to do a lot of the things people do in Windows from when I'm at home, which is nice. Obviously at work, I still manage all the Windows systems and things of that nature. So that's the differences between it all. But I just kind of wanted to showcase that because a lot of people are confused. Like, well, are you on Windows or are you on Linux? I'm like, yes, I'm on it. Joseph, it's always changing. What version of Linux I'm on is kind of all over the place. So it just depends on what's going on. I'm on Arch right now because I'm trying to build out the most minimal setup, and I'm going to create a script for that. I'm going to create a script to where anybody could just take the script and just go bam, and then just install everything for them. Much like I do in my Windows 10 Debloat script, I wanted to make the same thing for Arch Linux because a lot of people, there's a terminology say, hey, by the way, I use Arch because it's traditionally difficult to install, but I think I can get it down to the spot where pretty much anybody could just run one command and just have everything done for them. Much like installing an own distro, but I hate the distributions and all the people because people get caught up on, oh, I need to be on this distribution or that distribution. I'm like, no, you just learn Linux and you'll be good. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where I'm at. So, yeah, but on the next stream, I will be going over how I set up this whole thing down here. And kind of going into it. I'm still streamlining it. If you want to follow along and you're a big GitHub guy, I do all my commits to GitHub on it. So I've been slowly building it out. It's called Archmatic. I originally took it from another script, and then I just started really heavily modifying it. It's a completely different thing from where it started from. But I like a lot of the way the original coder, how he cleaned up his code was slick. He did a lot of for loops and how he laid out. I was like, ooh, that's just sexy code. And then the thing I love about good, clean code is anybody can take it and modify it. Even someone that's never coded in their life or scripted in their life could take it and, do stuff with it. So that's the whole point of that. Yeah, the debloat script was just cleaning up Windows. There's a minimal one. Oh, I meant to do this. We're going to do one more thing, and then we should be good. Because I want to make it one-line command for everybody, so you can pick which one ever you wanted from today's video. So let's get on the desktop real fast and do that to finish this out. So everyone can just kind of take this and do its thing. So I've already done the GitHub commit, so you can technically download the scripts, but that's kind of involved for a lot of folks. We did 3 scripts today, or 2 scripts really, minimal and ultra LTSC, which that ultra was kind of a letdown. I was a little bit let down by it really not doing as much. I would recommend just the minimal. I think for the ultra LTSC, I think I'm going to force people to actually go download that one just because it does so much that's going to break people's systems that I think I want someone to actually learn about that script before trying to run it. But the minimal and the regular one I'm going to leave. So let's go make our website post and we'll pull this up real fast. We're just going to create a website page for this one real fast. We'll go new posts 2020 and we'll call this one Windows 10 scripts.markdown. And then we're just going to go ahead, edit this out. Or actually, you know what? We're just going to code this. We'll use some VS Code. You guys might not see this as well, but I want to get this done as quickly as possible. All right. This one's going to be Windows tags. It's going to be PowerShell. And then everybody can take this afterwards. This is going to be a direct to the web, so you guys can just go christitus.com afterwards. I'll also put up the unlisted video from this one on here. So if you're interested in this video, it's going to take probably about 2 days, as I like to chop it up and do all that for YouTube. But the actual full
unlisted version of this one will be here. If you need immediately access to it, I do unlist and put it down into the members section. So if you're a channel member, by all means, you can do it. But if you don't have any money or you're unemployed or whatever it is, by all means, you can go to the website and get it here in a day or two. Also, for Patreon and ChrisTitus.com members, it'll also be in the regular spots as well. So this one is going to be 3 Windows 10 scripts. Yeah, but if you did miss the stream, it's not a big deal. We're still, I'm going to document all this out, and we're going to just do it right here. We're going to put those 3 scripts in. Now, how I do the single line from GitHub, one thing that a lot of people do ask me is this. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you something, because a lot of people want to do singular lines, which is fine for executing code remotely or directly off of GitHub. And I have... So this is the one command to do everything. This runs the regular script. A lot of people didn't like this because it disabled Defender, it disabled indexing, and it uninstalled OneDrive. I think those were the top 3 complaints where I addressed all 3 of those in the minimal script. So I could definitely change that around. I might actually... Nah, I would change this article. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do... Nah. I'll do a new article. I'll do a new article. We'll just do a blank one. I'll fill it out later today. Put some more meat on the bones, per se. But we'll put a skeleton web view up right now. Yeah, so I will make a GUI to this as well with yes/no options. There's other debloat scripts that already kind of do this. I like the just run one thing and just does everything for you. And then I think it's been forked over 200 times. So if you're a professional out there, you want to take this script, fork it, and then just do your own thing. All right, so we're going to take this command, copy it, and come into here. 3 Windows 10 scripts. The first one's going to be regular, and this one uninstalls OneDrive, disables indexing, and disables what was it? Indexing, disables Defender. That was another big complaint. So this is this one, and we're going to just go PowerShell, and we're going to put that guy in there. That's going to be the regular script. Next script we're going to do is the minimal. Leaves all programs intact. All programs intact except bloatware. And this one, we'll do the same thing. PowerShell. And we'll put that one-liner in, but we're going to have to change it up a little bit. So you see this get IO? This is the cool thing here. We can actually come into our Windows 10 script and change this around. Yeah, so the Linux script, instead of doing a debloat script, I was doing this. So here's a little taste of that. This right here on the next stream, it's an Archmatic script, but basically what I wanted to do is it's not necessarily one line. I'm still working on debugging it. But basically the live ISO, you'll run one command, it'll format your drive and everything for you. And then the next one will go ahead and set up all the base systems and actually modify all the system settings exactly how I have it. This is kind of a pet project of mine, which is kind of fun. So this is a neat, almost like rolling your own distribution, but I don't want to call it that. It's just a modified Arch Linux, really. You can modify Mint, you can modify all those other ones. But I wanted to start from the absolute bare install. Anyways, getting back to the Windows 10 script and finishing this out. We're going to go minimal. We're going to grab the raw file. This gives just the raw. This is what we need to grab from it. Then we're going to go to get.io. We're going to type this in, shorten it, copy it, come back over into here, And then we're going to just take this right here and delete and put this one in. And that's the minimal script. And then for LTSC style, debloat, warning. Actually, let's do this in bold. Warning. Will uninstall lots of stuff. We'll see how that goes. And oh, you know what? Let's take that down. All right. And for this one, we're just gonna put a link because I want people to actually download this one. Because it's just so aggressive that I just don't feel comfortable doing a one-liner for that one. So I just don't want to get bombarded with people going, "You broke my computer." Like, no, man, don't do that. I told you what not to do. All right, we're gonna put this guy in here. All right, bam, toss that in. That should get all 3 scripts. I think that should be pretty good. Let's save that out, and we'll paste. Let's see, I probably should add Windows 10 scripts.jpg. Let's do one more thing, because I need something for the header, which we can do. And 1 second here. Where did you learn all this stuff? You know, you gotta set up a test lab and just start tinkering. Like, I love technology. I love just getting into a system and just doing stuff. And a lot of people think you need to get hired somewhere to learn stuff, and that's not true at all. So usually what happens when you get hired is you get good at like 1 or 2 things, and that's it. Like, people are like, I don't even know if I want to say this, but I'm going to say it. A lot of people are like, I worked for Google or Facebook or IBM. I don't care. It's not impressive to me at all. It just means you're a corporate lackey, or you worked at a line level position and you're probably really good at 1 or 2 things, and the rest of things you probably suck at. When you get into the big corporate environments, it just gets real. And I had a really bad experience by this, but I went very far really fast, and it was just a beatdown. But needless to say, you learn by just setting up a test environment so you can break things. You gotta fail. You gotta break things and just really fail, and then learn how to fix what you break. And you can't really do this in a business environment. You gotta do it on your own. And I always love breaking things and fixing them. It's just a personality flaw of mine. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, that's where it is. You know, Ross knows what's up. And it's fine. You know, I don't want to throw shade at people. Everybody's good at something, and it's not to say that. It's just when you get into the big companies, a lot of people, kids these days, get off my lawn. No, just people think that you got to work somewhere to learn something, or someone's gonna mentor you and guide you through how to pick stuff up, and that's not how it works. You gotta do it yourself. You gotta, and if you don't know how to do it, set up something you can break or to try and do it, and then go do that. And that's how I learn everything. I like to set up tons of test environments and just break it to pieces. And I've done it in business too, but I don't recommend that. There's been times where I've had stuff happen and I'm like, oh God, this is the end. And you know, you work on it, you finally fix it, and you're like, wow, that was intense. So yeah. All right, grabbing some stuff here. I think, was this it? No. Getting back to it. Nope. Ah, here we go. All right, we're gonna grab this guy. His advice, break stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, we've all done stupid stuff, man. if anybody ever says they know everything, or oh, I've never broken anything, anything like that, it's just like, yep, you're not worth talking to. You've really not done anything then. My motto, and if you ask my kids, if you ever walk up and ask them anything, like, hey, what does your dad always say? And I beat this into their mind because it's so important. You have to fail over and over before you can succeed. You got to fail. It's so important. And it's just missed a lot in today's society. We prop people up for doing things correctly or succeeding, and we champion the successes, but I think you need to champion the failures, because that's where people learn. Because when you win, you don't really learn anything. It's only when you lose or fail. Starting to sound like Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh well. All right. Yeah, let's go. I think we've got pretty much everything. I just want to grab this one thumbnail real fast. Bear with me. We're almost done. Oh, hey. All right, then. That's a risky auto wallpaper system I got going on. All right, let's see here. Yeah, what we're doing, and if you wait a couple days, guys, on this webpage, I will add that YouTube video, the unlisted live stream to this. If you need it immediately, again, memberships down below, you can get it immediately. Otherwise, I unlist all live streams, because how YouTube works in live stream comment, let me finish this and I'll go into how YouTube works in this regard, to where it's a little bit weird. Come on, where are you at? Oof. You know what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna grab our, oh no. Nah, you know what? We're just going to publish it without thumbnail. Who cares about a thumbnail? I'll clean it up here in a minute. All right, that's done. I think we're pretty much finished here with this. This probably needs a line break, though. And, yep. We'll go ahead and publish this. And GP. Win 10 scripts. All right, we deployed our new webpage. That should be up on christitus.com in the next probably minute or two. We can answer some questions, check on that, and then we'll be good. If anybody has any questions, I'm looking at chat. Let me know. But I'll go ahead and pull this up, and I'll pull up NetFee as well, just to see how the deploy process is going. MTW tutorials, we're just finishing out the scripting of this. I'm waiting for the actual website to deploy it so people can actually grab like the minimal script. I didn't make a one-line command for the heavy script just because I know that's going to break some stuff with people. So, we're still working on that. But I wanted to leave that just for something, just an example of what you could do with it. All right, deploys. I think we're pretty much done, right? Nah, it's processing. Show more wallpapers. Does the lady on the wallpaper get naked as time goes by? Master, so this wallpaper system I have right here, it does a quote of the day and then it changes the wallpaper automatically. Like, I didn't change it just now. It just decided to change every 5 minutes. I probably will change this a little bit because I've seen some more risque wallpapers pop up, and during a live stream, it could get kind of interesting. So, yeah, I don't know, mate. I think I'm gonna leave it. But anyways, this wallpaper project, if you're interested in, is called Variety, I think. Yeah, let's see. Variety. I'm using version 0.83. It's by Peter Levy, peterlevy.com/variety. The guy did a great job. He open sourced this. This is GNU, general public license, GPL license version 3. So, pretty cool little wallpaper. What do some games like Gears of War use the Windows Store for? why can't it run on LTSC? This is a good question. I get asked this a lot. Windows Store has a lot of baked-in integration to when it comes to authenticating with Microsoft accounts. So a good example is like Minecraft 10, Windows 10 edition. That one requires a Microsoft account, and how the authentication system works requires you to launch it from Windows Store. There's some ways to get around this, like hey, people play it in Linux. How's that? Well, they use an Android emulator because you can play Minecraft Bedrock on phones, which is based on Linux. So there's some compatibility there. Other things like Gears of War, it probably has that same authentication to Microsoft in the background. And whenever you have that, you need Windows Store, and that Windows Store has some dependencies, and those dependencies are like Xbox app and those types of things, to where my normal script didn't really touch Xbox, mainly because I didn't want people to break their Windows Store apps, because once you strip out that Xbox app, many Windows Store games stop working because of the integration and authentication with Microsoft. So that's why. Have you tried Wallpaper Engine? I have not. I actually opened up my own GitHub project, wallpaper-reddit. I would just pull Reddit wallpapers, and then I found variety, and I was like, oh my God, this is way better than what I forked from GitHub. It's like light years better. So I probably should make a video about it, but I just did a wallpaper video, and I'm like, ugh. It's like when I made the all-in-one USB video, and then find out that it was, Ventoy came out like I think a week later. It was literally like within a week, Ventoy hit the market. I was like, oh man. Well, that I'm not gonna make another all-in-one USB video. I gotta just let that one ride. But if you're not familiar when it comes to that, just go Ventoy is what you do. Ventoy. Let me grab that address here. Ventoy. It is, yeah, ventoy.net is what it is. If you're looking for a net bootable system, Ventoy, amazing. It is by far the best. I would have done a video, but I just did a video, and it just like this thing came out. I was like, all right, well, so be it. Yeah. Well, Peter, I'm not always up to date. I got a little lag time. All right. Here's the final product. If anybody wants to run any of the scripts from the stream, if we go into here, you'll see this broken thumbnail Windows 10 scripts. I'll fix it after we get off the stream. I just didn't want to bloat it up. This is the web page we just built. You can easily come in here. If you want the regular one that installs OneDrive, disables indexing, disables Defender, this one right here, just click to copy. Or if you just want the minimal that leaves all programs intact except bloatware, this one, just click this and then run it. Let me show you an example run process. Let's just test it real quick, which I should have. Did I close my Proxmox? I think I did. Heck, let's just run it on our main Windows 10 system, shall we? I don't mind running it on my gaming box. Probably due for one anyways. And that should show all the progress. So again, we'll do it here in a second. ChrisTitus.com. We'll grab our minimal script, Windows 10 scripts. And we'll grab, that's the regular one. We want the PowerShell minimal version. That's the one we created. The LTSC one I did not make a one-liner for, just because I didn't want people running that too much. I can just imagine the emails. Can't say it enough. All right. And we'll just right-click to paste and then run. So this creates a system restore point in case something bad happens. So I actually never did that before. So this is actually just a game stream. So I open up Windows 10 by game streaming Notepad++, and then I just close it. And then I just run everything as I normally would. It'd be as if sitting at your machine doing it. So looks like it pulled it in just fine. It's not installing Adobe. It did our restore point. It's downloading O&O Shutup and applying recommended settings. I do get questions sometimes for the more advanced folks out there why I use Bit's transfer service instead of invoking it. Invoke actually runs a little bit slower, where bits will actually pull multiple pieces of the file, bits of the file, quicker. So you do it a little quicker. So that's the whole reason for that. But it looks like it's working just fine, guys. I'll go ahead and push this in chat for the actual script. I'll let this play out. Let's see it complete, go to its full completion. Correct. Yeah. So Uter Minch, man, I butchered your name. I'm sorry, man. It is exactly the same as the old script. It just leaves Windows Defender, OneDrive, and Index incorrectly. And if you've already run that other script, this actually re-enables those things. So, you know, if you did run my old script and you're like, dang it, I need my OneDrive, it'll actually re-enable it or make it to where you can easily, I think OneDrive it won't automatically install, but it makes it to where you can easily install it. So let's just log out of this. And we're pretty much it. And let me copy that website address for you guys. And if you want to run the minimal script, just look for minimal. That's the bottom script, not the top script. The top script is what I already did the video on. For this live stream, the minimal one was the one without all the shenanigans. So pretty cool, pretty fun. But I think that's going to do it for today, guys. I have really enjoyed the live streams. I love the weekly live streams. If I ever get a hair, I'll still do like late night. I like to hit the 2 time zones. So try early in the morning, late at night. On Saturday, sometimes I like to do those so I can hit both the Americas and then also those over the seas, over the pond, and hit both areas. So have some live interaction with everyone, because I love the live interaction. Getting feedback real time is super important, and it helps create a better video and also a better product at the end of the day. What type of desktop do you use on Linux Mint? I usually roll just the regular Cinnamon. So I need to look up what Binoid is and figure out what's up with the chat bot on YouTube. Till the next time, though, I'll work on that. But I'll see you guys. I might stream tomorrow night. We'll see. I have my daughter's friends coming over, so we'll see if that runs late. If not, I might pop on. It might be more of a surprise stream late night, but if not, definitely see you next Friday. I love the Friday mornings. I just love starting my Friday off with these, because it lifts my spirits for the weekend, and it's just a lot of fun. So with all that, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Probably should get a new, I should probably get like a new tagline for the live streams, right? I'll think on that. Later all.